Thank God I'm sober. I tell myself that every day. Also was thinking this morning, beautiful Saturday morning, 5:30, and I'm so thankful to be sober today. And that's what I wanted to talk about was just the amazing gift of sobriety that's given to me. In the Bible, soberness refers to much more than just abstaining from alcohol. It translates the Greek word nepho, meaning to be free from intoxicants, and sophorono, meaning to be of sound mind and good judgment. Biblical soberness requires spiritual alertness, emotional control, and a clear, stable mind. Now, some people watching may not be like, man, I'm not that spiritual, but I'm hungover and I'm not happy. I think back to the last Christmas party that I attended while I was still drinking, and the night went horribly, as you can imagine. Uh, Barely made it home. By the grace of God, I'm not dead or have killed somebody or in prison. For me, it was that severe. I have no doubt in my mind. I remember my wife opening the door to my truck like 2 a.m. because I just made it home and just passed out right there in my truck. Had to be at work at 7 a.m. that same day. And just, I remember the misery and how desperate I was for a change. And that's my message today. Sobriety is the greatest gift I've ever been given. And if it wasn't for the grace of God in my life, I'm not sure where I'd be right now. Scripture urges believers to maintain a clear, sound mind so they can make rational, godly choices instead of being led by impulsive emotions. Impulsive. I remember one year the NCAA Final Four was in town. I was drunk and I was like, let me buy 5 tickets and just invite people for free. I mean, I can't even explain the shame and the guilt. We still went, we still had a good time, but it was a horrible decision that I made financially, mentally. How many of these decisions are we making when we're not sober that we regret the next day or for months or for years? I'm going to be reading from Romans chapter 12, starting in verse 2. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Because of the privilege and authority God has given me, I give each of you this warning. Don't think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your valuation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given us. Just as our bodies have many parts and each part has a special function, so it is with Christ's body. We are many parts of one body, and we all belong to each other. If I'm not sober, I can't focus on my spirituality. Spiritually, I am dead. If I put anything in my body that changes me from the neck up, I heard somebody share that one time in an AA meeting. If it messes with you from the neck up, you don't touch it. And I've just always adopted that. I'm going to do a final reading here from Peter chapter 5. Care for the flock that God has entrusted to you. Watch over it willingly, not grudgingly, not for what you will get out of it, but because you're eager to serve God. Don't lord it over people assigned to your care, but lead them by your own example. And then when the great shepherd appears, you will receive a crown of never-ending glory and honor. It's hard to keep our eye on the prize, especially in life. It's tough. We want immediate satisfaction. We want immediate relief. For me, I always thought that was in a bottle, in a baggie, in anger, in resentments. And it never got me anywhere but further down into a self-dug grave. So this morning, you may not be watching this yet because you might still be passed out. My target audience are individuals that are suffering because I suffered for almost 30 years, 29 years of drugs and alcohol. And I was just emotionally, spiritually, I was no good for anybody. Now I'm over 3 years sober, and it's only by the grace of God and His will for my life. There's a bigger purpose for all of us, and it does not include drugs, it does not include alcohol, it does not include anger. It includes a relationship with God, serving others, and just waking up happy and honest. I don't have to worry about who I texted last night and what relationship I broke. I don't have to worry about my bank account to see how much money did I blow last night. Do I still have an open tab at the bar? Is my truck in the driveway? It's just so much better. I hope you guys have a great, blessed Saturday, and let's just stay sober together. Thank you.